Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hey, sorry, I've got a little bit of a cold today, but wanted to give you episode 5 of my keto journey. And I'm going to try and make it short because watching me cough on camera probably isn't a whole lot of fun. And this stupid thing right here is bugging the crap out of me. So, anyway, when we last met, I was on my way to a business trip to Austin, and then Terry and I were going to go to Phoenix for the Seahawks game, and then headed to Vegas to hang out with some friends and actually do a 5K. So I wasn't quite sure I really wanted to do the 5K, but mostly I just figured I'd just walk it, just to be supportive of friends and just to get back and do something active. And, I mean, the rock and roll events, if you're ever going to do an event like a 5K, 10K, half marathon, or marathon, rock and roll events have the best medals. This thing is hefty. Probably weighs a pound. So, anyway, there's my little medal. It's my little 5K medal. Ooh, from a rock and roll event. So, yes, I did finish. Not real happy about my results, and sad at how far I've fallen from when I was doing my half marathons, but it's a start. So kind of the whole purpose for this video blog or whatever you want to call it is to just kind of keep me accountable and keep me doing things. And we're just going to go ahead and add it to the wall back there along with my race number and keep on trucking. So hopefully there'll be some additional events. There has been some talk of doing a half marathon in Dublin in 2019. So I think that's a reasonable goal to shoot for, especially if I can get this weight thing under control. So that being said, in the last video, I said that I might take my scale on vacation. I did not take my scale on vacation. In the end, I just figured, number one, it's going to add pounds to my already expensive checked baggage. And number two, I wanted to see what would happen. Knowing who I am and how I've behaved in the past, I just really didn't want to be that accountable. So I didn't want to weigh in every day. And in fact, I got back Monday night, and I haven't weighed myself in until this morning, Friday, because I was doing a little bit of an experiment. So and I didn't want to get discouraged from that experiment. So when I left, I weighed 358.6 pounds. And I think that was a weigh-in on a Monday right before I left. And I haven't weighed in until today. And this morning I weighed in at 354.9. So if you look at from the time I left on Monday of last week until Friday of this week, I'm down 3.7 pounds. And that includes a trip to Austin, where I had some really good barbecue at the Salt Lick. And I did have a Coke that was refilled 2.5 times. So epic fail there. I mean, Coke is my gateway carb. And then going to Phoenix, I did okay after the flight to Phoenix. I had some Buffalo Wild Wings, which they're about 2 grams of carb a piece. So not horrible, but not great. And then when we went to the Seahawks game, I did have some gelato, ice cream, and some Coke. Mostly breakfasts were pretty good and didn't really eat lunch the whole time. And dinners were where if I was going to splurge on anything, it was usually going to be at dinner. So once we got to Vegas, we went out to eat a lot. Well, obviously we're not cooking in our room, so anytime we ate, we were out. But really didn't watch what I ate at all in Vegas, other than the fact that really we only ate about twice a day. Terry and I did go to the buffet one day for breakfast, and mostly did good. Just had some eggs and meats for breakfast. And, but I did have some apple juice and some ice cream. So, yes, I'm human. I eat normal foods just like everybody else. And when the temptation is there, usually I'm going to take it. So mostly what I'm trying to do is get myself away from the temptation as much as I can. Now, we've got a big temptation day coming up next week in Thanksgiving. Um, and so what I've been trying to do, I mentioned I was trying to do an experiment. So what I've been doing since I got back from my whirlwind trip is basically I've been experimenting with just going back to ketogenic, number one. So really low carb, high fat, moderate protein. So mostly eating eggs, bacon, sausage, some sour cream, cheese, salsa mixed in with some of those things. But really what I've been experimenting with is intermittent fasting. So I know right now there's alarm bells going off on all of your computers like, oh my God, the crazy guy's at it again. But think about it this way. If you're not putting food in your mouth right now, you're fasting. So don't confuse fasting with starvation. So starvation is a function of your environment. You absolutely have no access to food, right? If you wanted to eat, you couldn't. That's starvation. Fasting is really just controlling what you eat and when you eat. And when you think about fasting, a lot of people think about, like maybe a week-long religious fast or something like that. But it really can be as simple as, a 12 or 14-hour fast. So think about like a 12-hour fast. You eat dinner at 7 p.m. You don't eat again until 7 a.m. You fasted. And technically the term breakfast is break fast. So it's the meal that you have that breaks your fast, right? Nobody said that it has to be eaten in the morning, right? So basically what I've been doing this week is I think Tuesday I had breakfast of eggs, and then I didn't eat again until dinner. Let's see, Wednesday, I don't think I ate until probably about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then had a smaller dinner. And last night, again, I didn't eat until about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. No, it was almost 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I did have a handful of nuts while I was at the office yesterday, but then I didn't eat again until about 5 o'clock, and then I had a meeting at the airport, and then I had something to eat when I came back. But I guarantee you that in the time that I was in Phoenix, in Austin, to the time I came back from Las Vegas, I guarantee you I was up over that 358.6 because I really wasn't keto much at all, and certainly not enough to get into fat burning mode. So the fact that I'm down 3.7 pounds overall really, really excites me, really. I mean, so yeah, if I had been down 0.1 pounds, I'd have been happy with that. Even if I had maintained the same weight, I'd have been stoked with that. But the fact that I'm down 3.7 pounds and now 15.2 pounds overall since my first official weigh-in on my scale, super excited about that. Now, we've got Thanksgiving coming up next week, and then Terry and I head to Hawaii for 10 days in December. And I'm pretty sure that I'm going to have a whole lot of pineapple when I'm in Hawaii because I love pineapple, and Hawaii is the place to get it. So I'm pretty sure I won't be super keto in Hawaii, but I'm going to basically do the same thing. Once we get back from Hawaii, I'm going to wait until whatever that following Friday is to weigh in and see where I'm at, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do intermittent fasting, and I will probably continue to do intermittent fasting between now and Thanksgiving, and between Thanksgiving and Hawaii, in the hopes of getting, maybe another 4 or 5 pounds off here in the next month or so. So we'll see where it goes. But if you want to know more about fasting and why it's good for you, or why it's not harmful for you, I guess should be the better thing, go ahead and read a book called The Complete Guide to Fasting by Dr. Jason Fung and Jimmy Moore. And you can find the link to that. I'll put it down below in the description on YouTube, on Facebook, and it'll be in the blog. So you can find it there. It's a great book. I'm about 3/4 of the way through it right now. I've been kind of researching it off and on through various articles and whatnot over the last couple of years, but this is kind of a good, concise book to put it all together. And don't be surprised if at some point you see me talking about doing a 7 or 14-day fast. I think, number one, it's just kind of a cool goal to set to see what you can do by not eating for a week or 2 weeks. And it really helps with insulin resistance. It really brings those insulin levels way down. Obviously, if you have no calories coming in, your insulin level is going to be as low as it can. And insulin is really the mechanism that triggers your body to decide whether or not it's going to burn sugar for fuel or burn fat for fuel. So the lower the insulin, the more likely you are to burn fat for fuel. And obviously you're not bringing in any calories, so there is no sugar to burn for fuel. And despite what a lot of people think, it's not going to cause any muscle loss or anything like that. My body actually will use the jiggly stuff to provide fuel. So read the book before you decide to debate me on it. After you read the book, I'm happy to debate it with you. But I just don't want you to go on your gut reaction of, oh my gosh, you're going to kill yourself by fasting, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, that's all I have for today. Surprised I made it through without coughing. And if you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. You know where to find me, but I appreciate you watching and keeping me accountable. Thanks, guys.